Hello folks, the good folks at Atoto recently sent me this P807PR. It's called an Navigator and they've sent me it for review on my channel. So here it is. I'm just doing a quick unboxing here for you. I've sped up the footage and you don't need to listen to my mindless drone, but there you've got reversing camera and a huge extension cable, so you can mount that really tidily down in the back of the car. That's the forward facing camera. Again, huge cable on that, so you can really hide it away nicely. You've got a dash mount there. We've got the little remote control, so that enables you to basically have steering wheel controls in the car. It's an absolute doddle to fix. Even comes with a battery installed as well as a spare battery, can you believe? You've got the mounting bracket there that goes on the back of the device, and we've got some other various cables just to plug in those cameras into the main unit. Just moving the screen out of the way there, and this is the main power cable and really the brains for the device. So you plug this into your 12-volt adapter and it gives you an audio out, which you basically plug into the aux in your car, and then you've got two USB sockets, so you can plug in a phone to charge, or you can plug in a USB stick with your music on. This obviously the windscreen mount, you can also obviously mount that to a dash if you want. As you see, the screen itself, really quite a nice quality thing. You don't get tons of glare from it. And on the back, really simple connections. There's that one USB-C that the cameras plug into, and an SD card slot. And then you can see here just the little mounting bracket, which makes it really easy to get the device on and off your car. Great. I will mention as well that although I've been sent this item for review, I don't have to say anything nice about this device at all. And as you know, if you regularly watch my channel, I'm brutally honest about pretty much everything I come across. So if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you so. Right, so I've installed this, but as this is not my car that I'm currently sat in, I've done it in as basic a way as possible. I've got the reversing camera and the dash camera up here. There are actually some really long extension cables that come with those. If you're doing a permanent installation, you'd literally just take a few bits of trim just away, offer the cable up behind, push the trim back in, and you could nicely hide that. And if you spent a bit of time doing it, you could do a really good job with it. But certainly all the cabling you're ever going to require is in here. Now, to power it, you simply plug this into the 12-volt socket, and then you've got two USBs there as well, which is great, but I've just gone straight from 12-volt socket, plugged in the little aux in connection, and plugged that into the car, and that's it. So if you weren't going for the one with the cameras, you'd actually only have this one cable coming from the unit itself, which is again quite nice. It boots up nice and quickly. I haven't actually used any of it yet, so we're going to do that for the first time. I've also got this remote control here, which you just literally stick around the steering wheel by the looks of it. There we go. I mean, you can mount that where you want, but I've just chucked it on top of the steering wheel. What's it got? Oh, that's really nice. Ooh, it's got this really nice little tactile volume control on the top, and then you've got power on, off, you've got mute, you've got skip to the next track, answer a call, all that kind of stuff you can do directly from it. Now I'm just going to pair my phone up to this, so let's check this out. So I'm not using any kind of instructions for this because, you know, I am male, and I always think it's a good way to test how easy a device is to use if you can set it up without using any instructions. So I've just gone into my list of Bluetooth devices, and the Atoto P807PR is there, which is also showing on the screen. I'm just going to connect to that, pair request, allow contacts and favorites to sync. Yep, that's all done. So we should now be connected. It's asking me if I want to use Apple CarPlay, to which I'm going to answer yes. And look at that, straight into wireless Apple CarPlay. Okay, so I've just mounted the phone up there so I can actually video with it. But let's have a look at this. Let's go into something that's going to give us some sound. So Amazon Music. So this is sound coming from the unit itself. So if you didn't actually connect it to anything else, that's what it's going to sound like. Let's go back to the Atoto screen. There's an icon on your Apple CarPlay for that, so it's really easy to get back. And let's go to the audio settings. So we're going to do audio output. Now you can do that thing where you basically tune the audio into a free radio station in the car, but I've got an auxiliary connection and it's right there, so why not use it? So we're going to do that. We'll go back into CarPlay. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm turning that off immediately. But sound quality is brilliant, no issues with that whatsoever. So no kind of lag that's going to bother you at all. That's pretty decent. So everything you would expect for Apple CarPlay is there, and it works as good as it does in any infotainment system in a car, really. It's brilliant. Brightness control up here, and let's have a look at the cameras. So you can use this as a dash cam, or you can just use it as a reversing camera. There is a little leaflet that comes with it that shows you how to wire it up, so it will automatically go to reversing camera when you put the car into reverse, etc. But this is the sort of video quality we've got. I think that's really quite good. A lot of adjustment in that as well, so you can really fix it to the perfect place in the back of your car, and off you go. So just to run you through the options on the main screen here, you've got Apple CarPlay, which we've obviously just looked at. You've got Android Auto, you've got Gallery, because you can stick an SD card in, you can have your pictures on there, whatever you want. You've got your phone, music, Bluetooth, DVR, and settings. In settings, you can change the language. I've got it in English, but Arabic, Hebrew. You can get the audio to mute when you put the car into reverse. Different wallpapers for the display. There you go, lots of fun to be had there, I'm sure. And that's about it in a nutshell. It's really quite a wonderful little thing. If you've got an older car that doesn't have an information display, or the information display itself is a bit poo, a bit 1990s, this will just make any car feel modern. To be fair, I think this is a brilliant piece of kit. And if you wanted to go from, taking out your standard stereo, installing something new, you've then maybe got to get CAN bus things dealt with so that you can use your steering wheel controls if your car's got steering wheel controls. This, you just chuck it on and that's the end of that. Obviously, it also means you don't have to rip out that existing stereo and sometimes have problems where there are certain functions that you can only access through that existing head unit, or certain displays don't work properly if you put a third-party one in. This takes all that away, and really you could put this into a 20-year-old car. Suddenly you've got Apple CarPlay, you've got sat-nav on your phone, you've got everything else, and it just feels like a new car all of a sudden. So I think this is a great piece of kit. They're not stupid money either. I'll put a link to this on Amazon in the video description, and I'll pin it as the top comment. Obviously you can get this dash cam and this reversing camera for it, so you can add that functionality to your car if that's something you particularly want. The fact that there's only one cable running down to the power socket is a good thing, and if you know a handy auto electrician, you could certainly get that hardwired in without too many problems. So just to test that sound quality out a bit more without getting a copyright strike, I've just used Amazon Music again. So obviously that's compressed audio of a certain standard, but it sounds absolutely brilliant coming through this stereo. I mean, a Subaru here, it's got an okay stereo, but nothing amazing. That sounds great, and it sounds like an upgrade over the sound you get from DAB radio, in fairness. It sounds brilliant. Don't forget, you don't even need an auxiliary in the car that you're putting this into, because you can tune it into a radio station in the car. It will bring Bluetooth to a car that's never had it. It will bring sat-nav to a car that's never had it, and it will give you a chance to play all your different digital media all via this. And of course you can add a dash cam and a reversing cam should you so wish. Brilliant bit of kit. Link in the video description and pinned as the top comment. Thanks for watching this one, folks. Please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Catch you on the next one.